Hello, welcome back to the Floor 9 podcast. You currently listen to a Suffolk Free Radio podcast. The views and opinions expressed on the Floor 9 podcast are the views and opinions of the podcast personalities only and do not reflect those at Suffolk University, Suffolk Free Radio, or those at the Student Leadership and Involvement Office. So now we got all the formalities out of the way. So today I'm still with Omari. Omari, say hi to the crowd.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
So we got a pretty good day planned. We have about sports check, giving a run in with everything, and then after that we have some conspiracy theories that are kind of funny in my opinion that I found, and yeah, and then we got an end story for the end of the week motivation. So Mario, you want to kick stuff up? Start off.
All right, so I'm not sure if this is a topic on everyone's mind, but it's something on my mind. The Jaguars quarterback.
The guy with the mustache?
Yeah, Minshew.
That guy's funny as heck.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's been quite the personality, to be quite honest. I'm not sure if y'all have seen him play, but let me just say, this dude is talented. I mean, the mustache just adds to his personality too.
But we'll talk about skill. What do you say on his skills aspect?
Oh, no, he's talented. Don't get me wrong. But let's just hope the hype doesn't go to his head, because we've had quite a few examples of the talent being there, but then just throw it away. I was thinking more along the lines of, what's his face? Cleveland Browns quarterback, Johnny Manziel. I mean, look at him. He spiraled out of control. I mean, he had the talent, but...
Yeah, but right now the Jaguars, they're staying with 2 wins and 3 losses. Don't get me wrong, the Jaguars, I respect them, but they've never been like a powerhouse. They never really put up a lot of numbers.
I mean, neither were the Browns, but I mean, look at them now. They're actually doing good.
Yeah, but the Browns, the reason why they're doing good is because they waited. They waited for the right time. Kind of like with the Cubs, but we're not going to get into that. But they waited. They have OBJ. They got Baker Mayfield. Baker now has some good wide receivers to pass to.
Don't forget Jarvis Landry.
But Baker's the exception of living up to the hype, in my opinion. He, sure, the Jaguars QB, yeah, sure, he's got the mustache, he's got the walk, he's got some skill, but, some of them die down or some of them fall off and you don't know them. But Baker is putting up consistency, in my opinion. You know how the Browns barely won anything last season?
Yeah, I mean, he's
doing remarkable, in my opinion. I have much respect for him. But, I don't know, it's too early to tell. Because right now, so far, the 2 people that are undefeated is the Patriots, and what's the other team that's undefeated? I forget the name of undefeated, but the Patriots are undefeated, and I think it's the 49ers.
Yeah.
No, not the 49ers, the Chiefs, Mahomes.
Actually, but speaking of the 49ers, they're actually doing pretty good with Jimmy G. I mean, as much as I would have liked to see him stay under the tutelage of Bill Belichick, I mean...
No one can stand Bill Belichick.
I mean, eventually he had to branch out at some point, because, I mean, this is Tom Brady we're talking about. He could play till he was 50 if he wanted to at this point.
Imagine if Gronk came back, though, because of Tom Brady. He just gives him a call.
I mean, it's looking 18-0 if Gronk ever comes back.
I don't know. I think it's the Chiefs, they're putting up good numbers. This is going back to the Chiefs, because now think of it last year, when we had the the championship against the Chiefs, in my opinion, I found that a better game than the Super Bowl. Because sure, the Super Bowl, it was a good game. It was a good defensive game, though. But the game against the Chiefs was a nail biter. Every second of the way, we were just going with the last, when we hit OT, it was basically whoever gets the ball first wins.
And compared to that of the Super Bowl with the LA Rams, I would have much rather seen a matchup with the Chiefs and the Patriots in the Super Bowl than the Rams.
Even though it's impossible, that would have been way better in my opinion.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I'm still happy we won. It was still a good game.
Yeah, I mean, all credit goes to the Rams. They were a pretty good team. Considering Sean McVay is the youngest head coach at 30 years old in the league, which is crazy.
And he put up consistency. That's the thing. That's the thing people lack nowadays is consistency. But
shout out to Rex Ryan. I know what he's doing. Oh yeah, that's right. Nothing.
You're just taking shots. Oh wait, it's not the Chiefs that are undefeated. It's what do you call it? The 49ers.
Oh no, that's what I said.
You were right. The 49ers. But you know who I always thought was I don't know, growing up, diehard Patriots fan. But the one team I always respected and would want to see to win it is the Saints, just because of Drew Brees.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you ever seen any beef with the Saints? They're always a respectful team. No one's got beef with them, and they put up good numbers every year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, I got Drew Brees. Oh, I didn't do fantasy this year. Last year I did fantasy. Consistent numbers the whole year. I think it was a reliable pick and was basically saved my team. But moving on to the next thing is that, what do you call McCourty? 4 games in a row with interceptions.
Now, that's just crazy. Like, you can't say it's just pure luck, because that guy really works on his craft.
He tied with the, what do you call it, the Hall of Famer. It's remarkable, in my opinion, how he can do it. Because if you look at the plays, he plays back and he waits, he knows, he looks the QB in the eye, and he just stalks him. He stalks and stalks, and then he gets him. It's unbelievable.
He knows what he's doing. He's worth the money.
And now there's two of them because there's twins. Double the money, double the power.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, okay, so we're going to segment into the next part called, conspiracy theories. This is more like the moonwalk segment we usually talk about. Now, this was kind of weird. So, going into this, I was told, I asked a couple of my friends, what do you want to see on the show? And a lot of them wanted just random conspiracy theories or something that'd be funny. And I looked up this one. So I looked up conspiracy theories. And I was looking. Those are common ones like the fake moon landing, the world's flat, or just tons of awful ones. It's just like stereotypical ones. Nothing good. But this one caught my eye. I don't know if it's stereotypical or not, but it's called the reptilian elite. I don't know what it is, but basically it's saying all the powerful people in the world are reptiles.
Can't really say I've heard that one before.
I'm
more versed with the Illuminati type beat.
Like they say, it's like imagine Dracula and Swamp Thing had a baby, and that's what they look like.
Huh. Interesting. That's quite the combination, if you ask me.
I don't know, but they were saying everyone from the Clintons to the what do you call it? Anyone basically famous from Queen Elizabeth Bush.
Okay, well the Clintons, I can see that.
No, we're not getting political into this, but what do you think about the reptilian elite as a theory? I know it's impossible, but it's just something that just got my eye.
Yeah, to be quite honest, the whole Illuminati thing is way more believable than a bunch of lizards dressed like as humans and running our government and whatnot. So, I mean, hey, that's just me personally.
See, I think, I hate to say it, but I think Illuminati is more real because there are societies out there that are exclusive to a certain percentage of the world. And, for example, there's credit cards you can only get. You know how people say they want the platinum card, the black card, and stuff like that? There's cards that, America Express, you can't apply for it. You have to be offered to it. You just
Crazy.
I think Illuminati, yes, it could be real. Reptilian, no, I don't think it could be real, but I think it's going to be extremely funny if something ever happens. But the reason why I brought this up, because of Moonwalk, I'm not going to just bring it up for no reason and say, oh, these reptiles. So when I was thinking about it, I found out the theory of the filter theory, so basically behind the filter theory is that we evolve and we advance as mankind and we try to explore and try to reach the limits. So, for example, right now we explore space and we're looking for life on other planets. And we wonder, why haven't we seen that life? The filter theory is basically saying that there was life, you're right, there was life out there, but they hit a break point where every single species that ever existed failed and they killed each other off. Or not killed each other off, but something ended them. And they thinking that, if, for example, if we do pretend we find ruins or we find, skeletons of, X species or something, or, dead aliens, then that's going to be a sign that the filter theory is true, that they had civilization and they did advance, but they got cut off. And there's...
well, in my opinion, all that seems, I wouldn't say too far-fetched, but honestly, I'm more like a Illuminati type guy, like I keep saying. So, but that's just me, though.
But think of it this: if we did discover aliens and stuff, they would either two things: they're going to be way more advanced to us, and we're going to view them as a god.
Well,
that's one. Or two, they're going to see us not as a threat and just basically just take over and take our natural resources.
Fair enough.
Because what point, okay, it'll be peaceful to the humans. what human, like humans have a tendency not to be the best when they've given power.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So like they probably see that coming. They say, okay, let's look at the human race so far. So yeah, sure they had a lot of wars. Sure they always argue. Sure they can't even agree on what's the best form of government from democracy, monarchy, or communism or whatever. Sure they may not be the best people. Sure they make a lot of bad decisions. So why don't we help them? Like no. If they see that, they're not going to help us. They're going to be like, okay, well, ooh, they got trees. We can use that. Like, I don't know, any natural resource. I just think that the filter theory is interesting because it's either that we're the most advanced out there and we passed the filter, we evolved and we passed what most people got, like, the break point. Or that we're going to hit it because the point of mankind is to explore the unexplored.
Yeah.
We explored the Earth. So now what's the next step?
For the most part.
Yes. Now we are testing the water in space. We're going out there and we're seeing like how everything is or like what's new. And that's the scary part because what we're going to find is going to cripple religions. It's going to cripple the idea of beliefs. It's going to cripple everything because it could either make us go into a golden age or it could make us fall and recess into, like, anarchy.
And I mean, some things just aren't meant to be found. Like, we should just leave some things to the dark, hidden abyss of space. I mean, look at all the movies, like Prometheus. So, humans went into space, started digging where we weren't meant to dig, and then they unleashed, like, some ancient evil, and then blah, 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 save the Earth, and you know how that goes. Human sacrifice, and and, well, you know.
It's just,
in the movie.
I don't know, though. Like, the thing is with it is, so the goal, like, I was looking up, and the goal between filter theory is that the goal of, like, mankind or humans is not to, as a cliche as it sounds, is conquer the solar system. Not solar system, the galaxy. Because, okay, first step, we conquer the world. We have Earth. Like, most of Earth is explored, if not all, I believe, all in my opinion, but that is my opinion. And now what? So now we go to space. So yes, we've been to the moon. Yes, we're sending people to Mars. So now we're going to try to colonize that. Okay, say in 200 years we colonize the moon and we colonize Mars, okay? We have civilizations there. We're doing good. So then we see another star system close by. Okay, we see that star system, so we go over there. We do the same thing again, 200, 300. It takes more than 200 and 300. But we colonize that. So then we get a system of colonizing until we have the whole galaxy. I mean, the whole solar system. So once we have the solar system, then we get the galaxy. And the whole goal of mankind is to explore to the limits, and I think the galaxies are limits, and that's going to be our break point. That's what the filter is. Once someone colonizes their own galaxy,
they move on to the next galaxy in this universe.
But that's a thing. You go in the next galaxy, why if that one's either occupied, or you just fight each other because you're running out of resources, because unless we have everything is renewable resources, we're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty true. I mean, there's quite a few series about exploring other galaxies, starting intergalactic wars, and, well, you know how that goes.
You know, it's kind of funny, though, because wars are fought over land, money, and power, and the fear not to be conquered, right?
Yeah. So
what happens if you eliminate land and money?
Well, you get Star Wars, then.
You have power.
Yeah.
But basically, you know, asteroids are just they look like a rock, but underneath is just pure minerals. They have asteroids made out of pure diamonds, copper, every metal you can imagine. So imagine if someone could farm asteroids. That would be the richest man on Earth. Because if you could farm asteroids, you're getting pure material.
So essentially, it could be something like Wakanda and vibranium.
Basically, but instead of it landing on Earth, you're just going to space, get a lot of raw materials, and then coming back.
Well, I mean, I could see that happening at some point. You need to advance our materials first. I mean, look at SpaceX. They have the relaunchable.
That's a huge money save. I'm like, you know how many rockets we've blown up in the U.S. alone?
Crazy, in the billions of dollars worth, even trillions.
I don't even know what to say. The money money controls everything, but what happens if money wasn't an object?
Well, you'd probably be in another galaxy right now, so.
And then we got Star Wars, so look out for the future Star Wars. You know what I never understood about Star Wars? Is that they conquered everything. Like, the galaxy was so advanced and stuff, but then there was some planets where it was so held back. Like, for example, Luke Skywalker, where he was born, it's so held back. Like, everything there is so simplified. His house looks so simple because of farmers, of course. But then you look outside and you got like a giant ass spaceship just sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like society today. It's the rich and the poor. And unfortunately, not everyone's going to be rich. So, that's the way life goes.
I would feel that at that time period, they would colonize planets like left and right. They would have a system to get it like done fast. But that's the whole space theory. And it's crazy to think, like, looking out there into space and say, what's next?
No cap.
No cap. We say no caps to keep into the disclaimer. So, I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then there's the whole empire, and then the
lastly, what I wanted to talk about, or like what we wanted to talk about, was Tesla and their electric cars and breaking a few records. So, if you guys may or may not know, Tesla surprisingly has been making a few milestones with their, what was it, like quarter-mile times?
Yes, no, 0 to 60. They had a 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds, and that's faster than a lot of good muscle cars out there. You could buy a Challenger, a Deem, like...
Oh, and not to mention, Bugatti also broke the record. They were able to break land speed, I believe, without the use of a rocket-aided engine, and they got like 303.7 or something along those lines, but still. That's just crazy to think how far they've managed to come and just getting the whole engine setup nailed down to a specific science. That's just crazy in my opinion.
The thing that like amazes me is how, so back then, let's go back in time a little bit when a car was invented. Back then everyone used a stagecoach. Stagecoach, have a horse or something, pull you around. Pretty simple, nothing fancy. Then a car was invented. And no one thought this was gonna take over the world. No one thought it's gonna be like the huge thing. Every house is gonna be some advanced car with a tablet inside that can tell you where to go, when to go. Mm-hmm. They just thought of it as like, oh, that's a nice little like advancement we have. Like, oh, it's a luxury people can't afford. Right now, that's what the electric car is for us. We have electric cars, and we see, oh, it's a luxury we may not afford, but it's good. It's good transportation. It's good for the environment. Maybe one day. Next thing you know, in the blink of the eye, that one day is going to be today. And you're going to be wondering this. You're going to be wondering what the heck happened. You're going to be telling your kids that, like, oh, I used to drive around in a V8 Hemi engine, and then they will look at you saying, what about the environment? Like, they'll start, like, saying, like the electric cars were so much better. Why did you use it? And my reason will be just pure muscle power.
I mean, more and more, I just have to say with a better production of electric cars, it's going to be cheaper. And that way, almost everyone will be able to afford them. And eventually, combustion engines just going to go out the picture. At least that's my hope.
I don't know. I'm going to miss it, though. I'm going to miss pure American muscle, the hum of an engine. It's like saying they have electric motorcycles and stuff. And, yeah, sure, they're faster. Sure, they're cleaner on the environment. But the sound of a Harley Davidson coming by, or going to your garage and turning on the Harley Davidson to go on like a morning ride, that feeling you can't replace with like electricity.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's always different ways of recreating that feeling with like haptic feedback and different noises and all that jazz. So I wouldn't count it out just yet.
I don't know. I want to miss it. Like I said, next thing you know, I'm going to blink of an eye and I'll be telling my grandkids saying, like, we used to have, like, not diesel. Well, we still have diesel trucks. I don't know what to say. I'm at lost of words because the whole transportation system, it's changing us. But right now, we're going to finish the segment and with what we usually do with an end story. The end story today is one that I experienced when I was a freshman in middle school. When I was in freshman in middle school, I used to play. The year before I played football. I did every sport you can imagine. In freshman year, I thought, why not do track? Because I enjoyed. I watched an Olympics occasionally, and I saw shot put and discus. So I watched the shot put and discus, and I thought, might as well try it. So I go into track, and let's say the captain's name was Mark. Mark comes up, and we do laps. I'm gassed. I'm winded. We go to the weight room, and he says, all right, now do 25 push-ups. I couldn't do one push-up. I'm not going to lie. I tried my hardest. I barely could do not even one. So then after practice, he looked me in the eye, and he came over. He pulled me aside, and he said, do a push-up. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, you going to do 25, do one push-up. So I said, okay. So I got down, I got in position, and I did one push-up. It took me like 5 minutes and a lot of pain, I'm not going to lie. But I did one push-up. So Mark, he looked me in the eye and he says, good, I'll see you tomorrow. The next day comes around. Same thing happens. We do the warm-up, we do the push-ups, and I barely could do them. Then he comes up to me, looks me in the eye after practice and say, do 2 push-ups. I'm like, all right. I try my hardest, and I do one with ease, and then the second one I was struggling with the same amount as my first one. So then the next day comes around, etc., etc. He says, do one more. Fast forward to the end of the season, we were at, I think it was 48. That's why the 48 is such a lucky number to me, by the way. 48 push-ups. He comes up to me, and he says, he was a senior at the time, by the way. He says, one more. I'm like, what do you mean one more? It's the last practice. And it was summer, like spring track. So it was one of like the last times I was going to see him. So he says, one more. And he said, okay. But this time, when he said one more, he got down and did the push-ups with me. And he did the last one with me. And that was a huge, important moment in my life because it showed me that right now, progress may seem small. This podcast, for example, we may not get a lot of views.
But it's the effort that counts.
It's the effort that counts. If you put time into anything, as cliche as it sounds, time pays. Time gives you results.
Time is money. Don't y'all forget that.
And you can make money with that time. But that's the podcast. I appreciate you guys turning in. Sorry it's a shorter podcast today. We had some other stuff lined up, but we got some cancellations. But
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys, and you guys take it easy.